Hello, and welcome to Recapping with Delora
and Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Recapping Podcast.
Also, rate, review, and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We want to hear your thoughts on the movies and shows we review.
Leave us a comment on Apple Podcasts or our YouTube channel, and we will read them during the show.
Or reach out to us on social media. We love talking all things entertainment and pop culture with you.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you. Hello, Ashley. How are you?
Hello. I'm a little tired, as I mentioned before we got started, but I'm excited to be back on the mic, talk about some things with you. How are you doing?
I'm a little tired too. I think it has a lot to do with the end of the school year. So when this drops, it'll be the end of the school year for my daughter. And it's like a milestone in itself. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, we did it. You're in the system.
Did it. What do they do about kids getting chicken pox? Remember when we were in like first grade, that was kind of the time that everybody got chicken pox. What do they do now? Do they still try to encourage kids to get chicken pox young?
I have no idea, Ashley, none, because I have to say, now that she's, like I said, in the system versus where she was previously, I feel like where she was previously, we were constantly getting like notifications of like strep, what they say, hand, foot, mouth. But we haven't gotten as nearly as many notifications now that she's in public school. So I don't know. That's a great question. You know what's so funny? So she's about to lose her first teeth and they're at the bottom, and I'm like, girl, you need to wiggle them or I'm going to tie a string around them and close the door. Dave was like, did you really do that? I was like, my parents absolutely did do that to me, but I take it your parents did not do that to him, and they didn't. How about you?
I do remember it wasn't a slamming the door, but I do remember trying to figure out how to finagle getting out those baby teeth. At least we weren't in the generation of pliers, because my mom talks about my grandparents would cop out those.
Really?
Yeah, take out the pliers.
And so with her, we're like, you really need to wash your hands and wiggle, 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 wiggle. I'm like, twist it if you have to. And she's just like, I'm scared. I'm like, should she eat an apple? But she's, avoidant at this time. So,
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
It will. But the tooth is already coming in. That's another thing. I was like, that didn't happen with us. I don't recall. I remember it might have started cutting through the gum, but you can see the tooth. I'm like, girl, if you don't get this baby tooth out your mouth. And we went to the dentist and everything, and they were like, yeah, we'll wait for it to come out. It'll push, and the tooth coming in will push forward. I was like,
yeah,
our bodies are miracles.
It's gonna happen. It'll be fine.
So funny. I was like, well, at school, what happens when people lose a tooth? And she's like, oh, they have like a tooth case, like a tooth fairy case. I was like, what? They didn't have that when I was in school
at all.
The technology and the cutesy things that they have for these children these days is just very mind-blowing for me. But I also wanted to say congratulations to all the graduates. It's prime time for high school graduations, college, graduate, doctors. Congratulations. This is a wonderful time. And it's been some years for us with our masters.
Yeah, that was 2016, I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Congratulations to all the graduates. I've seen all the yard signs, all the things, but to my favorite graduate, my hairdresser's daughter, Alyssa, congratulations. Oh. So proud of you. I know she's like, it's supposed to happen. I hear you, but it's still a milestone. So I'm proud of you. Congratulations.
Congrats. And apparently the congratulation train continues, Ashley, because Millie Bobby Brown has gotten married to John Bon Jovi's son. You know what's so funny? I'm looking at the BBC, and that's legit the title of this article. So sorry to you, Jake Bon Jovi.
She's still a child to me. Like, I can't even process this news.
She's 20 years old. So yes, she is a child. So rumors out of the weekend said that they got married, and it's nothing like the parents spilling all your tea. As rock legend John Bon Jovi confirms to BBC that his son Jake has married Millie Bobby Brown. He said they are great. They are absolutely fantastic. He said that the ceremony was very small, family wedding, and the bride looked gorgeous. And Jake is happy as can be. And it's true. So they are babies. So she's 20, he's 22. And we've talked about this during our headlines and just thought it'd be a great follow-up, Ashley.
I love Millie Bobby Brown. I'm rooting for you. But 20
Girl.
And in Hollywood, and you're still only at the very early stages of the superstardom I feel like she's going to get to in her career, this is tough. So I'm wish y'all the very, 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 very best.
She's, as you mentioned, very much red hot in her career. And if he's there supporting her and rooting for her, I think this is positive, because I think the problem we have seen in Hollywood and in real life, let's keep it 1,000, is a man's jealousy of the success of their partner, like their wife. I'm thinking about you, Ryan Phillippe. We have a list. Okay.
But they were also so young. Reese and Ryan were young.
We're super young. And she had those babies right away too. So yes.
This is what I'm saying.
True.
Like, I am rooting for y'all, but it is already tough to get married at that young of an age outside of the spotlight of Hollywood, let alone inside. I mean, granted, I know that a lot of times the young kid stars feel like they had to grow up really fast and they have to become adults very fast. Yes. But like, what's the rush, baby? Why marriage?
True love, Ashley.
You know what I mean? That does not mean we had to make it official. We can have true love and just be in love. But I'm not your mom. I'm not your daddy. So like I said, baby, I'm rooting for you.
I can appreciate them wanting to get married. But as you know, our generation relationship with marriages has evolved quite a bit. I actually saw this on Instagram, I guess. In Japan, friends are getting married. So
I saw that yesterday too.
30-something Japanese citizens are marrying friends so they can have a partnership in life and like reproduce and have someone you can raise children with. And it's these relationships that aren't necessarily built on intimacy.
Isn't that what Van Jones is doing?
Yes.
I'm asking. They're like conscious co-parenting
with his friend. Yes.
Yes. I'm not judging.
He was married before too. So this seems very intentional. It's the peak, when we both turned 20, when we both turned 30. I actually had one of those arrangements with a friend. Very loose. We were like
nothing set in blood or stone.
Not at all. But shout out to my friend John. He one of my favorite friends from college. We were like, you're attractive, I'm attractive. If we don't have children, if we are not with anybody, we're having a baby.
Now, would it be that y'all are having a baby, or y'all were going to experiment being together?
Oh, just baby.
Just a baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's always my thing. Like, what if somebody messes around and actually catches feelings and it just ruins the arrangement? Because I don't know. I think I'm too much of like a rom-com believer and lover to like always think that nobody's gonna ever catch feelings in those type of scenarios. So I don't know. Some people must do it successfully
with the opposite sex that you've never caught feelings for.
Correct, but I also then don't have any desire to procreate with them, and that's me. Like, that's the thing, is like, is it really like just too platonic, not remotely wanting to be? Because if I find somebody attractive, 9 times out of 10, it's like, hey, let's see what this thing is about. You know what I'm saying? Versus we're literally just fully platonic. I don't want any type of anything with you.
I think millennials are definitely on the cusp of like setting up communes though at this rate for the cost of living.
I could definitely feel like I could do a Golden Girls era and live with my girlfriends. That's no doubt.
I mean, like having a piece of land, learning how to garden.
Big facts. Like that's ideal.
We are sustainable.
Yes. Give me fresh food.
Living. Girl.
Give me people who are going to take care of me.
Yeah.
Because even people having kids is like, oh, I remember a lady posted recently, one of my girlfriends thought having kids, they was going to take care of her. When she got sick, it was me and our circle of friends who took care of her. Yes.
Girl. And unfortunately, that's true. We kind of talked about that in American fiction where it's like,
don't put mom in a good home.
Why are you spending all your time looking at the expensive rooms? She wasn't a great mom. You better notch it down.
Mama, you know I love you. I'd never do you like that.
So. I would never do that either because I believe in karma. I believe in the golden rule. You know, what is it, Ashley?
What goes around comes around?
Yeah, that part. Do unto others as you want them to do to you. Okay. So yeah, fascinating stuff. So congrats to the babies. Mm-hmm. All right, since we're already over the pond, let's talk about this year's Cannes Film Festival. It was the 77th annual film festival. The jury president was our girl Greta Gerwig, coming off Barbie. So a lot of power there. But instead of talking about movies, we're going to talk about this red carpet, Ashley, because it's giving racism. I mean,
or just that somebody need to get fired. That's what it's giving me.
Somebody needs to lose their job.
Because y'all forgetting what this is. Y'all forgetting. This is about entertainment. This is about the zhuzh.
Fashion.
Yeah, the showbiz of it all.
Exactly. I'm looking at Yahoo News and, their incubator of different articles. And this article is from The Independent. It says Cannes Film Festival security guard who clashed with Kelly Rowland has altercations with other celebrity. So last week, there was all types of, internet fervor around Kelly Rowland's appearance at Cannes. She was looking gorgeous. And there was this one particular security guard that kept, I guess she said something to Kelly, because honestly, it was more than one security guard having their arms up. But she's on the steps, she's turning around waving, and all you see is her behind these other people's arms, where it is supposed to be their moment to stand, go up those stairs, just like the Met for reference. Go up those stairs, turn around, have your moment, and then keep going until you get into the building. And we see Kelly, we don't know exactly what she said, but, we all read lips. And she was pretty much telling this lady, don't talk to me. Because she was polite at first. She was like, okay, thanks. And then apparently this lady probably was talking out the side of her mouth. And she was like, don't talk to me like that. You don't talk to me like that. I am not your child.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, living in the age that we live in, everybody gets uncomfortable when a Black woman calls them out on their shit. And everybody's like, Kelly Rowland's aggressive. And then, of course, guess what? They bring up the Today Show event that happened earlier this year about the quote unquote dressing room, but we later found out that it was about them aggressively asking her about Beyonce. That's a whole nother conversation. And Kelly came out the next day with AP, almost in tears, talking about, I stood my ground. She know what she said to me, and I stood my ground. But lo and behold, there were two significant events that happened after the Kelly altercation. And the one that's significant is with the Dominican actress. Her name is Maisel Traveres. There's pictures of her pushing this lady out her way, Ashley. Like, don't touch me. I was like, yo. And the fact that it was the same lady.
She need to get fired.
Girl, and then there was this K-pop star. Her name is Yoan. Same thing. And it's like, this feels like a trend because I didn't see no blonde hair, blue-eyed chicks being pushed or rushed off the carpet.
Correct. Yeah, I think she needs to get fired. I mean, I don't call for people's firing easily or any of that, but I just think that when you see it once, okay. 3 times, ma'am, you're the problem. And again, this is entertainment. These people on this carpet are what the crowd is here for, what the cameras are here for, why you're here. So you should never be rushing and pushing and doing all that with these celebrities. If anything, it should be like every red carpet you see where they have their people surrounding them and their people know what type of timetable they need to be on and are ushering them through. That's how this needed to run too. Like, this is pure entertainment. And whoever hired this lady, she's taking her job way too fucking seriously. Like, and the thing with Kelly that's killing me is, if I see one more person use language like outburst, like I literally had to post under page 6 through our account when it said something like outburst. I said, like, this language matters. Like, outburst, this language matters because y'all are trying to make it seem like she had some blow up or she was being irrational in the moment. All she said was, you're not going to speak to me that way, period. And I feel like Kelly's been getting a lot of flack from these last 2 incidents, and Kelly has never been a problematic celebrity whatsoever. Exactly. But what I think she may be in is in her I don't give a fuck era, and I'm happy for her because if I'm honest with you, Destiny's Child, I feel like they were very sedated. Matthew had them very church girl. I don't disturb anybody. I always have a smile plastered on my face. Now, Beyonce still holds that a little bit in terms of her public persona, but they are grown women. And when you a grown woman, in their 40s, I know what I am and am not about to deal with and take. There are things when you're younger, you just let roll off your back. Like, we forget too, Kelly these are professional settings. Kelly is a professional. Yes. And she should be treated with respect.
You do not have the longevity of her career if she was quote unquote problematic in this way. Especially for a Black woman. Let's keep that.
Exactly. And you know, we rooting for Kelly, period. So you know, that's all I got to say. I'm rooting for Kelly. I'm Team Kelly, period.
Because I trust her. So yeah, that was ridiculous. On to a film that's probably nowhere near the caliber of the films. I can't film. I'm referring to Atlas. During this particular press run, this film is a sci-fi film starring Jennifer Lopez, Simu Lee, and Sterling K. Brown. It's available on Netflix. It premiered right before Memorial Day. And it is not getting really great ratings, like, at all. Like, I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes, 19% from critics, 49% from the audience. So, however, this press run is getting a lot of traction. I'm actually looking at the root. The fact that somebody actually wrote an article about this is cracking me up. It says, in viral clip, Jennifer Lopez seems to annoy Sterling K. Brown, but it's his reaction that has us laughing. So Jennifer Lopez is going through it, okay? Like, after, like, I think I called it her $20 million fever dream. This Is Us Now, or This Is Me Now. And her documentary and her tour also, she's been having to cancel dates and things like that.
Had to turn into a greatest hits tour.
Girl, she's having some time, and it's kind of open season on these internets when it comes to Jennifer Lopez and her likability. Some people are like, I don't know why people don't like Jennifer Lopez. Well, there's also been some nasty rumors about how she treats people through the years too, that I don't want to say we ignore it, but it's like, the train is still running.
I haven't heard rumors of her being nasty towards people over the years. I must have missed those.
Oh yeah,
headlines. Like, I never see her anything.
No eye contact. Like if you are a servant or someone who is not like a peer, they said that she is not kind.
I've never heard that before.
And then people are also sick of her talking about, being Jenny from the block, talking about she's from the Bronx, and people are like, you were like a middle class. Like you grew up in the middle class. I don't know what block you're referring to.
No, I I'm not on the Jennifer Lopez hate train at all. I love Jennifer Lopez. But I remember Kerry Washington even talking about Jennifer. They grew up in the same neighborhood in her memoir, in Kerry's memoir. So this whole thing about her, what block she's from and all that, I don't know. Maybe it's because at this point it feels so played out because she's been a celebrity and rich for so long.
Longer than that.
Yeah, time. You just can't really speak on, especially like even if it was somebody that I personally went to school with, you can't speak on what my home life or upbringing was like,
Very
so
true.
I remember there was a video you sent me of a lady talking about that. And I'm like, even if I went to school with you, you ain't live with me. You don't know, like, you don't know shit about my life.
You don't know my life. No, I respect it, but I am just creating the environment. So in this particular interview, I think they were asking about her favorite comfort food. That's what it was. And she was like, oh, because I'm Puerto Rican, my comfort food is, and Sterling came around in the, oh yeah, you're Puerto Rican?
You don't say.
You don't say. And then he starts speaking Spanish, talking about some chicken and some rice or whatever. It took me out the first time I saw that. Because first of all, we know when it comes to these press tours, they're either asking the same question over and over again, or your coworker is probably saying the same answer over and over again. And the way he said it,
iconically, sorry to interrupt you. Iconically, remember when Gaga and Bradley Cooper were on the press run for their film, and literally they had a clip, a montage of her saying the same thing over and over and over.
And so
exhausting.
She always talks about being Puerto Rican. We know Jennifer Lopez is Puerto Rican. And so for him to say, really?
You don't say.
Get out of here. And people took that as shade. Ashley, from your initial reaction to this video, what did you deduce?
I hadn't even heard about this because to your point, I didn't even know nothing about this movie. Like I remember seeing it on my Netflix, but like I was like, oh, okay. So then I Googled and I saw the clip and I was like, maybe he's just coming across as being more sarcastic in the moment than he means to be because he's just amongst his, coworkers or whatever and having a time and probably asked the same thing ad nauseum that day. So I don't know if it was necessarily shade at her or just him, injecting some sarcasm into the conversation and situation. Because
switch it up a little bit.
Anytime you have even a little bit of a sharp tongue, you're going to have a moment where that may hit differently than you meant for it to hit. You know what I'm saying?
That's so true. And this other question on the red carpet, they were asking about Jennifer Lopez and her work ethic, because we know we recapped her documentary. She's always on the go, go, go. And so she's saying in this recent answer that she's slowing down. And he was like, this is slowing down? He's like, you're a hustler, baby. And again, the interactions was just very funny. And it had me cackling. And somebody actually really did do a deep dive. And they're like, Jennifer did something to Sterling in terms of like annoy him or something, because he's not promoting it on his social media. The latest thing that you see is him promoting like That Was Us, the This Is Us podcast with Mandy Moore and their other co-star. I don't know that gentleman's name. I apologize.
Is it Justin Hartley?
No, it's it was the sister's husband.
Oh, I don't know his name either. Sorry.
And they were like, yeah, he's sick of her or something. And so it's the drama. It's the internet drama for me that had me cackling, you know?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they're good. I also saw supposedly that he credits J-Lo's first video for being one of the reasons why him and his wife broke up the first time.
And they were broken up for 3.5 years before they got back together.
Exactly.
And he said he was afraid to blink. He was afraid to look at it because she was staring him down. He started crying. She's like, "You crying over J-Lo?" He's like, "I don't know what you want me to do." He's like, "I should have turned it off." I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. We taking stuff way too seriously. People.
I was going to say that is peak college girlfriend type shit, because there is no way.
Staring at his facial expression.
Because of a J-Lo video, girl, bye.
Yeah.
Well, it whooped him into shape. So congrats, Brian. All right, let's get into our hot topic. So it's a broad hot topic, Ashley. We're going to touch upon it in two different ways. Movie trailers are coming out. I feel like we're finally getting some of the things we've been desperately waiting for, courtesy of the the strikes that happened last year. And I think there's some exciting projects on the horizon. The first being Moana 2, set to come out November 27th of this year. The synopsis I found on Google is Moana journeys to the far seas of Oceania after receiving an unexpected call from her wayfinding ancestors. This sounds more of the same. And and the trailer gave me nothing besides an older looking Moana, and her parents also aged because, her dada got the grays going on in his gorgeous, luscious hair there. But I'm still excited. The Rock returns and Oli E returns as Moana. So what'd you think, Ashley?
So when she mentioned the thing about her ancestors in the trailer, that excited me because, doing it for your ancestors. Yes. But I will say that Moana is one of these newer Disney movies in the last, few years, 10 years, whatever, that like I have not rewatched, consistently. So I don't even really remember the full story of the first one. So I'll have to put that back in my Disney Plus, rewatch list so I can kind of get refreshed before this second one. But I will say, please do not do like Frozen 2, because you
didn't like it.
No, we didn't need it. Not that I just didn't like it. We didn't need it. It's not. Yeah. There are certain franchises that have done it and done it well. Toy Story, I'm looking at you, baby. Monsters Inc. Yes.
Say with Frozen 2, they kind of touched upon the lies we've been told of our history in making things right.
No. No. Frozen was a fantastic film.
It was good.
Leave it alone.
Me. I love a movie where I'm really good at figuring things out. I did not see some of that stuff happening. And I was like, yo.
And Frozen has such a great message.
It does.
Compared to the Disney films we watched, it was always about the love of a prince.
Right.
This being the love of your family, love of your sister. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. And Moana is one of those two. Unlike you, I have watched this quite a bit. And it's not even because I have a child. Actually, one of my the first time I went international for work, David was so sweet. He gave me, we would gift each other like movies and stuff like that. He gifted me Moana. And I'm like, I love this so much. And now I don't even know where it is because, DVDs. Where are you? Like, where am I going to play you on?
Under my TV, because I still have my DVD Blu-ray player.
I still have it too, but still, they're all in the basement somewhere. Really quick, really random. I saw this video of this young lady that says, like, remember streaming and like licensing when it comes to these books are just that, and they can be erased. So if you want it, you probably should own it.
This has been my big thing with music. I'm like, yes. I have not bought a physical copy of music in so long. And at any point, my stuff can just go down and I don't have any of this music. I still have it, a case of all these CDs of like a certain era. Like I'm talking 8701. I'm talking Confessions. I'm talking Mario and Chris Brown's first album. I'm talking Ashanti, Sierra. Like I'm looking back and I'm like, oh my God, all the music I loved is right here at my fingertips, right?
Yeah.
Now, granted, give me a CD player because I don't even have, talk about DVD player. I don't have a CD player anywhere.
My car still has a CD player. Shout out to
Mine does not.
2013 Nissan Rogue.
Mine does not. No CD player. I don't have one in my house. I mean, I could play it on my DVD player, right? DVD players play CDs.
They do. But it's so funny because I bought my car brand new and we've kept it the whole time. And I'm like in denial on how old my car is. It's well kept. Don't get me wrong. But I'm like,
ride it till the wheels fall off, baby.
Exactly. Because it's been paid off for many years. So shout out to no car payment.
My Sonata, she made it to the very end. That's all I can say. She made it to the very end. Appreciated you for your hard work, girl.
All right. So this particular trailer dropped this week as well. A Family Affair. This is starring Zac Efron, Joey King, Nicole Kidman, Kathy Bates, and is expected to be released on Netflix. It says initial release June 28th, 2024. So it's about a surprising romance kicks off comedic consequences for a young woman, her mother, and her movie star boss as they face the complications of love, sex, and identity. I saw online, was it Anne Hathaway the star of this movie? Shout out to the idea of you. We recapped it. Mm-hmm. It's slightly different. Exactly. The dynamics are different. And one of the things that I kick myself for not putting in that particular recap is the book is written by a Black woman. The original characters were Black and she couldn't get the book sold. And so she changed it over to white people and hence.
Oh no, I wish you hadn't told me that.
Ashley, I was kicking myself. I was like, I forgot to mention that.
No, that upsets me. That makes me not want to watch the movie ever again. Even though I enjoyed the movie, that's so upsetting. Let me say too, the producers of this one, I saw the same producers of Anyone But You. That movie sucked. So I hope that due to the star power of Nicole Kidman and Zac Efron, this is better. Can I also say this is no shade to Zac, but I'm still getting used to his new face. Like every time I see his face, I'm like, it looks reconstructed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so strong. So compared to like 17 again, Zac.
Girls, that was like peak Zac for me was The Greatest Showman. Like I loved him because he was a man.
Was phenomenal.
That movie was phenomenal. We watch it annually. That's how much we love this movie. Shout out to Zendaya and my boo Hugh Jackman. But girl, is very noticeable. I do want to watch the wrestling movie he's in. It's going to be available on Max.
It's there. I don't think I'm gonna be able to sit through it because I looked into the real story of the family, and they consider it to be a family curse as to what has happened to the sons in this family. 3 out of the 5 committed suicide.
Shut the front door. Is this what the movie is about? I didn't know what the movie was about.
So they are a wrestling dynasty, and so the father, and then he has 5 sons. The oldest son tragically died. He drowned. He got electrocuted as a little kid. He was like 6, got electrocuted, fell face first into a puddle, drowned. Then you had the next subsequent 3 brothers due to drug use, due to one was in a possible overdose. One was possibly a disease. And then 2 others shot themselves. And I'm literally the character Zac Efron portrays is the one surviving son. And I'm I cannot. So, yeah, because I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this, right? Because you got Zach, you got the one dude that I love from The Bear. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to watch it. And then I was like, let me just look this up real quick. And no, it's a no for me, dog. I can't deal with that level of tragedy right now.
Oh, no, not at all. And I'm like, where's somebody who knows Jesus and got some oil?
And the one who's still alive, his kids went into wrestling. And I'm like, oh. No, thank you. No, thank you.
No.
No, thank you. But anyway, that was a side note. I just wanted to say, too, from watching the trailer, it looks like it's going to be good. This is a reunion. Didn't Nicole and Zach do a movie before together?
Oh, that's a great question.
Some years back, I thought.
Oh, yeah. They were in the swampy alligator.
Yeah.
Was that a Spike Lee movie? I think that was a Spike Lee movie. Because it was Paperboy. What is it?
I think that was it. Something like that. 2012. Yep. The Paperboy.
Yes. Oh, so cute and handsome.
His original face.
Oh, sorry. It was the other Black director, Lee Daniels.
Not the other. There's only the
stupid.
2.
I'm being stupid because I'm going, what? Spike Lee? Well, no, there was a Lee. It was Lee Daniels. So, yeah.
So it's a reunion with them. And then my last thing from the trailer was that I wish they had hired someone a little bit younger than Joey King, just because I think at this point, Joey is becoming such a much more, for me at least, mature actress. Even her red carpet turns, I think is she married now?
Girl, yes.
I can't take her as seriously right now.
Matronly at this rate. No,
I just can't take her as seriously. And this, I don't want my mom to date this guy trope.
Honestly, she's within the age range that he could date. So yeah.
Everybody looks good though.
They do.
Some good cinematography.
So The Wolves is coming out September of this year, starring Brad Pitt and George Clooney. What a reunion. Shout out to all the Ocean's movies. Yes. I was super excited to see this particular trailer.
Can I just say George Clooney can still get it. Oh my gosh.
And
looking fantastic.
He's 63 years old. And he looks better than Brad. And Brad was a pretty boy out of the 2.
But Brad has been stressed. Okay, let's be clear.
He has gotten more notable work too, which I think plays a role. But speaking of stress, I think if Angelina has her way, he'll be canceled soon. Because all his kids he's had with her, they're dropping the pits from their names.
I saw that. Well, the last one was what, Vivian? Is just going Vivian Jolie.
One. Oh, yep. The youngest. Yep.
I guess Zoom approves.
Are we hypocritical for wanting to watch a thumbs up? What'd you say?
I said Zoom approves is giving us the thumbs up. What was your question?
Are we hypocritical then if we're watching this film?
At this point, I'm not invested enough in the situation that happened within their family to really have that type of opinion, or but if more comes out and I need to, sure, I sure will. It's fair game. Everybody is fair game at this point. I'm not that invested in anyone anymore.
Oh, girl, I think that comes with age, though, to be honest, because again, you and I were very similar and like we love the award shows. And honestly, pop culture was, I think, at a fever pitch in the early 2000s as well, with like the coverage of celebrity and paparazzi and all that type of stuff. But I don't want to say we're jaded, but it's like I've said this before, I'll say it again. We've seen Oz. We've seen behind the curtain.
We
It
not
is
jaded.
ugly.
It's reality. I mean, you
Yeah.
have like central pivotal cultural figures for our generation, the generations that preceded us being taken down
Girl.
for
One of
ugly things.
potential hot topic that I decided not to expound on because I feel like this is an ongoing story is the recent Diddy Rolling Stones article, and they had a freaking 6-month investigative journalism. I'm like, dude is going down. That's why I'm like, the audacity of him apologizing, which we talked about last in our last headlines hot topic. It's like he's delusional. Then he's Delulu.
Yeah, they're coming for his ass for sure. Like and like I said, I think he's going to end up doing some time.
Girl. All right, so let's talk about castings. 2 significant castings for 2 projects happened recently, and I want to talk about them. Real quick, random one, to be honest, is our young man from The Idea of You, Nicholas Galitz, is to play He-Man in the long-delayed Master of the Universe film at Amazon MGM. I'm looking at Variety. This is the most random casting, actually. Like, apparently it is set to be released June 5th, 2026. This young man's career is red hot. I think the last time I saw someone career this red hot was freaking Jonathan Majors before that all came crumbling down. But
I think the thing too about him is he's not necessarily getting typecast. Like he's been in a range, you know what I mean?
The diversity in his roles are like, it's quite impressive.
Mm-hmm. His agent needs to get a raise.
Girl, that's what I'm going to say. Shout out to his agent. So this is along Mattel Films, which, as you know, with the success of Barbie, they have upcoming films with Daniel Kaluuya as Barney, Jennifer Lopez and Anthony Ramos and Bob the Builder. Little Yachty is in a heist thriller Uno, and Vin Diesel's Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Oh my God, I used to love Rock'em Sock'em Robots as a kid.
Barbie is funding all of this nonsense. Okay. They're like, what you're going to do is watch this movie and buy these games and toys. Okay.
I tell you, Hollywood, when they go hard, they go hard.
Girl, you remember when Rihanna started the battle? What's the name of that game?
Oh, you saw Battleship.
Battleship. That was an awful movie.
It was not great, but I love Battleship. It's one of my favorite games.
Is it?
To this day. Yeah. My mom, I hate playing my mom. She beats me every time, but I do love Battleship.
And this last particular casting I am most excited about. I am talking about the new Knives Out mystery. This would be film number 3, starring my favorite Bond, Daniel Craig, behind Pierce Morgan, of course. And the castings are being released. We have Andrew Scott, Josh O'Connell, Kaylee Spani. I don't know who she is very well, but the ones that I'm most excited about, shout out to Glenn Close and Kerry Washington. Ashley, what do you think about this latest cast and who are they missing?
Oh my God, I have no idea. it's such a random ensemble of players, and I wouldn't even want to venture to guess who they think is going to be a great addition because I don't know what they have up their sleeve. They haven't released any details about the plot. The last one, Janelle Monáe, was so good. Right? Like it was just such a good story.
It was really great.
It was fun. It was all the things. And so
shout out to our recap of that.
Yeah. Ed Norton did his thing. Everybody did. So I just want whatever they want to happen. I want to happen. Can I say I want Carrie to be a bad guy? That'd be fun.
I don't want all the Black women to be the bad guy though.
Janelle Monáe wasn't the bad guy.
Oh, touche. Touche.
Yeah.
I would love to see my I have all these boos now. Jonathan Bailey, it would have been great, but they got the hot priest from Fleabag.
Mm-hmm.
So
Jonathan Bailey
I'll settle, And then who else would be in a dream casting of Knives Out? Again, shout out to more Bridgerton faves. Simone Ashley would be great in this particular film. And what is his name? Dev Patel. I would love to see him.
Oh, I love Dev Patel.
Me too. I would love to see him in a Knives Out situation as well. So, all right. Ashley, anything else?
That's it for me today. Besides, obviously, what we're going to recap for the people.
Exactly. That's where I was headed. What are we recapping next week?
So we are diving back to the time of Jesus because we are about to recap the Book of Clarence, currently available to stream on Netflix. Now, guys, I know this is going to be controversial for some, but let me just say, if you haven't seen it, to be honest with y'all, it is a little different than I expected it to be. So
it is.
Come in with a little bit more of an open mind and join us for that recap if you're on the fence, because I think it's still going to be enjoyable. Lots to discuss.
Hallelujah.
Music never disappoints on a Jay-Z production.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. That's it for us today. We got to get out of here. Please share this episode with everyone you know. We appreciate it. We'll be back. But as always, be blessed.
Bye.